Hello, everybody, and welcome to Problem Solve Her, an innovative, fun, creative, outstanding podcast hosted by myself, Chloe, and my girl,
Dagmar.
Dagmar's in the house. Hello, beautiful women of all ages, races, and creeds, and men, because 25% of our viewers are men. And how do I know that? Because Dagmar, the SEO queen, has been doing the metrics. So thank you, men, for listening and tuning in.
We would like to take this moment to thank our sponsors. Bronzea is a mobile spray tanner which can be done in the comfort of your own home. Founded by Gina, an experienced beauty professional with a cosmetology license of over 9 years. Bronzea was birthed by name and cross-pollinated from Bronze and Dea, meaning goddess in Italian. Gina really missed giving women that inner confidence and glow one spray at a time. So, are you ready to unlock your inner Bronzea and allow Gina to make you feel fabulous before meeting a family affair, maybe a night out with your significant others, or maybe it's ladies' night? So please go to Bronzea Spray Tans at Instagram and use promo code ProblemSolvHer, no E on solve, for the month of September.
Now, today, we have a fabulous guest. Ashly Cox is in the house. Woo, woo, woo. So, Ashly is, well, first of all, she's my neighbor and she's my friend. And her beautiful, fluffy Penelope, her daughter, is my son Oliver's girlfriend. And that's how we met. And we'll get into that in a minute. But we want to talk about Ashly and give her some accolades before we get started. Because at the ripe old age of 27, Ashly is a mortgage industry leader and lifestyle creator. And she's based right here in South Florida. Obviously, she's my neighbor. And she produces all of her own deals while leading a nationwide team with 6 years in her field. You go, girl. And outside of mortgages, she really loves to share her kind of day-to-day and how-to on the socials. That's what we call it now, Dagmar, the socials. And she's a proud dog mom of Penelope, which I obviously mentioned. And she really likes to blend her profesh ambitions sprinkled in with her kind of down-to-earth style online. So she's a combination of a badass businesswoman and a style kind of guru-ish. And she's beautiful inside and out. Welcome, Matt.
Hi. Thank you guys for having me. Excited to have you.
You're the youngest person to be on the podcast so far.
Yeah.
Yes. Dagmar, isn't she the youngest?
I think so. Mickey is a little bit older.
A few years. Well, I'm still only 30-something, so you just have me beat, girl.
Oh my gosh. Well, thanks.
We're happy to have you. Before we kind of get into some other things, let's start with Dagmar. You're going to love this story. His significant other, Adam, and I kept meeting each other in the elevator at 7:30 in the morning with our furry babies. And I think the 5th or 6th time we met, I hadn't even met Ashly yet. I was like, should we breed the two of them? Because they are like beautiful. They would have beautiful babies together, a Bernedoodle and a Bichon Poodle. And I guess it was 2 days later, I'm in the elevator and Ashly and Adam come in and she looks at me and goes, is that your son that wants to impregnate my daughter? No, hello, nothing. I was like, that's my girl. She's my new friend.
No, I was so blunt. But Chloe, you're leaving out the best part is you were very bland with the story. Okay.
Go ahead. Give
Adam
the deep.
comes upstairs and he goes, I just met this girl in the elevator. She has this little tiny dog as big as my hand. And she said that he has a really big, and like, they're gonna breed and they're gonna make beautiful dogs. And we're gonna like,
Yep.
What? Who you met? Who?
He's like, what? Who is this girl? Yeah. He's like, well, because he's looking at me. He's like, no, this is a little guy. I'm like, no, he's not. Okay. He is not little. And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, only because you asked. That is the best part. No, that is the best part. But Ash, we're really impressed with the fact that you already at such a young age. I mean, to already say you're like an expert in your field, 6 years, you're not even 30 years old. Tell us, what drives you and how you got into the mortgage business and then kind of, segued into this cool TikTok I know you have a big following already. So kind of just give us a little bit of that background.
So the thing about me is, well, when I was younger, I was very indecisive. I went from wanting to be a cosmetologist to thinking I wanted to be a nurse and then switching and thinking I wanted to go to law school. So my whole plan was going to law school. COVID happened and my mom's friend was a mortgage lender. She was like, "Hey, I need an assistant. You want to try it out for like 3 months on a contract?" I'm like, "Sure." I don't even know what a mortgage is. I'll do it. I hated it. I cried every day, but then by the end of it, well, I would say middle to end, I was like, okay, I really like this, but I have to be on the sales side. They told me no. And I think when people tell me no, it really just I get a burning desire and I will find a way to do it just so I can come back and tell you that I did it. So that might be a little toxic, but that's basically how I got here because once I started as an assistant, went to the loan officer position, I passed the test, got that job. Then I left because I started in a call center, wanted to be self sourced. They told me no, and I went and did it within a month. And then I actually worked with Adam, Chloe, and we worked together. That was horrible because I'm very competitive and we were fighting over deals
No.
in the same household. And I was like, you know what? This is what I want. You don't really like the business. I'm going to do this. And he was like, okay. And I literally just, I did it. I grew the team and I found that I have to basically lead from what I would have wanted because I had to figure out this by myself. It's male dominated, very competitive, very saturated. So I find new people who have never been in the industry before that have the drive and I teach them how to do it. And then, mortgages were a little slow this year. I needed a creative outlet because I was very burnt out and it's kind of tough. So I just started posting on TikTok, my outfits of the day, what I'm eating, my morning routine, and it's fun. And I don't know, I have the girly side as well as the finance side. So it's been working really nice.
That's awesome. I love that for you. And you said something that resonated with me and Dagmar, I'm sure as well in a different industry, but growing up in my family's commercial real estate business, male dominated, I think it helps drive women that have that spark in them because I'm very competitive also. I don't know if you played sports growing up, but that competitive side just to prove to men, unfortunately, this is what we have to do. It's a man's world. And then they see what we're capable of and they're like, who's she? I want to work with her. And there's something to be said about that. That's a great feeling.
Yeah. And so growing up, I cheered. I did competitive cheer. So not necessarily like a super competitive, like contact sport, but I grew up with brothers and a dad, obviously, but they were very into baseball. We were a baseball family. So I think like I kind of have that competitive side maybe from them and just being raised that way. But yeah, it's interesting. And I think I even inspire my parents. Like, I think both of my parents are like, oh, we wish that we would have gotten into a field like that. We love the way that you're living your life. And so it's been cool to see just
That's
like their
awesome
reaction.
to have their support. That's so important to have family support. And growing up with a lot of brothers, so you're around a lot of men.
Yep.
I don't know how you and your mom dealt with that, but bless you guys because I don't deal with toilet seats up and towels on the floor and toothpaste not on the cap.
Well, thankfully, when I was growing up, I didn't really have to share a bathroom with them.
Nice.
So I got out on that one.
That always helps. But cheerleading is very competitive. I mean, there's TV shows about it now,
Mhm.
a lot of reality shows and movies based on it. So there is a very competitive side to it, even though it's not a sport like, grow up playing tennis or basketball or, field hockey. But I think that something within the cheer definitely helped you when you got into the mortgage business because that already made you competitive, whether it's with your own teammates or cheering against other squads. That had to have played a role.
Yeah, I think I honestly was kind of shy when I was growing up, but I think cheerleading helped me break that shell and then like each step of my life, including all the steps that I took like to get here in the mortgage industry. You can't be shy. You really have to go after what you want and open your mouth and speak up about whether it's someone else or yourself and help people. So I think it all definitely played a role.
What were the struggles you overcame in your teenager times?
Mm,
Dagmar goes for the hard questions. I forgot to tell you.
I will say I did not have, I know we just talked about like support from family, but like I did not have a very good relationship with my father. So I think I had to, being the only girl, I had a very good relationship with my mom, and my parents are together, but I felt like I was always, fighting for attention and fighting for my time, which I think also came with, that's how I also got here with wanting to, I am ambitious. If I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And I think me and my dad would butt heads all the time. He'd be like, "You're not going to do that." And I would go do it, starting with like the smallest little things. Now it turns into the big things. And then other struggles, I think, I was not very good at school, but I wanted to be. And I had to study very, very hard to get C's and D's. But, I made it this far, and I don't know. That's just, I get better every day. And that's really it, I guess, that I can think of off the top of my head. I might have more and I'll come back for you.
I'm listening to a lot of podcasts from entrepreneurs because I like to be inspired. And what you just said reminds me so much. So many were not good in school, and so many were not supported by their parents, but they had this inner strive and inner seeking, and they just went for it. And today, like, they're millionaires and billionaires and successful. And I can see that totally in you.
Yeah.
With the beauty mix of creating a happy life for you and not a pressured, stressful one.
Yeah, I think something that helped me kind of get through those times where I really wasn't very good at school and I had to like, make a certain ACT score. That's another thing, like going to college. I wanted to go, I'm from West Virginia, so I really wanted to go out of state for college very bad. And I remember I took my ACT and my dad's like, "Your score came in, you got a 16." And I was like, "Oh my God, that's awesome, right?" And he's like, "No, that's terrible. We need to retake this." And I was like, so stumped. Like, are you serious? I didn't get the score that I needed. And so I had to take that thing 5 times, and it was not very good. I think I got a 19 and had to go to college in state. Very bummed about that. But, I made the best of it. Everything happened for a reason. I made the best of everything. And I think that's what made me who I am today.
Well, first of all, thank you for sharing that because a lot of people won't admit that and don't want to show their vulnerability. So I applaud you for that. And secondly, ACTs, SATs, whether you went to an Ivy League college, you went to a state school, and Dagmar and I have touched on this many times on the podcast. It doesn't matter. I was
Right.
horrible at taking tests. Horrible. But you put me in front of a group and I have to do a speech. I'm killing it. I still got really good grades because I'm good at memorizing. I never really studied and I just paid attention and I kept it all in here. But when it came time to the test, same as you, it doesn't matter. Those things are behind you. The past really doesn't mean anything. You're kicking ass now. You're beautiful inside and out. You live in a fabulous building. You have really cool neighbors. You have a really amazing dog / your daughter and an awesome boyfriend. And you're doing what you want to do. Obviously, lifestyle and content and these things are important to you also. And then you kind of did like a little mini pivot as like a side hustle and you're doing the TikTok. So you're doing everything you want to do. All those other things kind of just made you stronger and build you up so that you can get to where you are now.
Right. And this is just the beginning. I was just thinking to myself earlier, like the things I want to do are not even really in the same area as what I'm doing now, but hopefully they'll lead me there.
What are they?
I knew you'd ask that. So I modeled for a store, like just like a local store once or twice, maybe 3 times. And I actually really enjoyed modeling. So I would like to get back into that. And I also want to have my own brand of some sort. I haven't really decided what that's going to be. For the longest time, I wanted to have a bikini boutique. And as I start thinking, I don't know if that's what's going to happen. I'm just kind of letting it all play out and we'll see what happens.
What is it?
You have your whole life ahead of you, girl.
I know.
What is a bikini boutique?
A boutique that sells bikinis.
But you would design the bikinis, right?
Well, I don't know if I would design them. I might just wholesale the brand.
Outsource. Yeah.
Yeah.
All you would need to do is just walk down Las Olas in your heels in one of those. And I'm sure they do very well, girlfriend.
Oh my gosh, you're hilarious. Mom would kill me.
That'd be so funny.
I know. Could you imagine?
You have your whole life ahead of you. I mean, Dagmar, can you imagine 27?
No. I was married with 27.
Oh my gosh. You guys, sometimes I think about my age and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm running out of time. Like, and I think that's how I
Don't
got.
scare me by saying that. Your life has barely started yet at 27. It's like a blip.
That's crazy. But, and I think that's why I move so fast. Like I reach a goal and I'm like, okay, what's next? Because I can't sit here. I'm not just going to ride it out.
Yeah,
And that's something I don't like about myself is I don't enjoy things. Like I'll reach a goal and then I'm like, okay, what's next? I'm not just going to sit here.
I
So
heard a podcast about that, and the entrepreneur, I forgot his name, he had to find inner peace with that. This is how he is. He enjoys the presence by striving, always striving to something. And this is how he is present. So he doesn't need to stop and enjoy. He's enjoying the journey. And I thought that's so beautiful because everybody tells you, oh, stop and smell the roses, take a break. And I do that when I'm in the mood to, but when I'm not in the mood to, why should I mean?
yeah.
And
Oh, it's
having
so
the
interesting.
freedom. Yeah. Having the freedom to enjoy that you have a strive and you don't want to stop.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep going until I don't have the energy to. Maybe when I get older, I want to just chill.
You have plenty. The wheels will not be falling off anytime soon, girl. Just take your time with it. And I'm somewhat like you in that sense. I get bored easily because I don't think things are stimulating enough. And that's probably why we're poodle moms, because poodles are the
Yeah.
smartest dogs. They need so much stimulation. They get bored very easily. They're like, what's next? Where are we going? What are we doing? And I think that, especially, I hate to say it, but your age group, and Dagmar and I talk about this, the younger generation gets bored very easily. They, the attention span's quick. You have 90 seconds to not even a minute to capture them. And I know that TikTok and Instagram and the social media plays a huge role in that. But I'm curious what you would tell women your age, because you are very mature for your age, and what you would kind of tell women your age is a good balance, in business, because you've already been in your field 6 years, and to have a successful relationship at a young age and dating an older man. Just throw that out.
Yes. Well, so I think I had to grow up very quickly. Like just speaking on the maturity thing for a second, like my youngest brother, we're 11 years apart. So when he was born, I was left home alone with him at like 11 years old with a newborn. Sorry, mom, if you're listening, if you listen to this, but yeah,
Wow.
so I
Speak
have to,
about motherhood. Speak about motherhood and taking
yeah.
responsibilities.
Yeah. So I feel like he's my baby, right? Like I really grew up very quickly and I learned to be mature then. And like with running a business, or whether it's your business or you're self-employed or in sales, you have to go get it, right? Like the money is how hard you work. So I personally live a very high-end lifestyle and I created that for myself very young. And so I knew this is what I have to do. Make a vision in your head of what you want and make a plan, go get it. Don't stop until it's done. If you sit down and grind for 3 months, 6 months, very hard, and you just put your head down and go, it'll all happen. You cannot do the work and not get to where you want to go. In terms of like a successful relationship, choose wisely. Know your values. For a long time, I did not know what my values were. I didn't care. I don't think. I just glorified being in a relationship and I wanted to be in one. And very quickly did I learn, oh no, like you have to really pick. You have to study somebody. If you see something and you don't like it, you got to go. So that's what I learned. And, being in a relationship is not easy. Yeah, I'm in a successful one, but we have our
It's still
challenges too.
work. Of course, it's always
Yeah.
work. But to
You
know
know,
that at a young age is beautiful, because Dagmar and I talk about what it's like dating over 40. And a lot of what you just said, I did not think about at your age, about choosing wisely, knowing your worth, knowing your value, picking the right guys, making the right decisions. But I want to go back to something that you said before. Actually, Dagmar would have probably asked this question. Hold on, let me transport it over to her, because this is more of a Dagmar question. When you had to help raise your brother when you were 11 and he was just born, was that because both your parents were working and you guys were kind of what we call latchkey kids and you had to stay home and help? What was that? If you don't want to extrapolate, you don't have to.
yeah. So I wish I had a solid answer for that because I think it was A little bit of everything. Like before the youngest was born, it was me and my brother Tyler. Tyler is 3 or 4 years younger than me, and we were pretty close growing up. But my dad coached baseball, so he was on the road all the time. We didn't really see him necessarily. And then he also had like a job outside of coaching baseball. And then my mom worked full time. So we would spend a lot of time with my grandparents, and sometimes we would like go to my mom's office and hang out. And then when my youngest brother was born, my dad stopped coaching college baseball, but he started coaching high school baseball because he just has to have baseball in his life. And I think my mom preferred it that way because, it just makes him happier. So there were times when, yes, someone was working and I would just watch him. And there were other times where like, I remember my mom would be like, get up, get out of bed, hang out with Trey downstairs and play with him. And they'd be like cooking or just doing something around the house. Yeah.
How did you deal with it when you were on your own with your brothers and there were dispute or conflict?
I don't really think there was dispute or conflict with them. We all just kind of played. Like we had a pool, we had a trampoline, we had neighbors. Like it was a pretty chill time. I think everyone got along for the most part. There was a time where I don't remember what happened. They were in the backyard and Tyler, so the one that's 4 years younger than me, he like fell over the fence and broke his collarbone. And there was baseball tryouts the next day. And he was very quiet about it. He just ran upstairs and went to bed. He never told anyone he was hurt. And so my mom got home and we were like, something's wrong with him. He's upstairs in his bed. So I don't know. We all got along from what I remember.
That's beautiful. How do you deal with conflict today?
Better than I used to, I'll tell you that. I think before I speak. And if I say something, if I have to, talk about conflict to somebody, I'm still working on this because I don't like conflicts, but I'll approach them in more of a civil, like loving manner rather than coming and attacking them with my words.
Are there specific steps you take? Like somebody who's listening to us, no matter what age, and they have a challenge with like being emotional about it or more reactive as active, because you seem pretty balanced and in peace and successful.
So if something makes me upset, whether it makes me sad or it makes me mad, I will always talk about it with my partner, Adam. We always talk. And then, I'll calm myself down. But if I didn't have Adam to talk to, I'd probably call my mom and I'd talk to her. And I'll either have to cry or I'll just have to go on a walk or go to a workout class, do something with myself just to get me back to like a good mental state, because I have anxiety. My heart will be racing. I'll be all worked up. And then I approach the situation. But I really take time to think, what is the best way to go about this? And what outcome do I want?
I love that you can do that at your age. Most people, forget even age, any age, where people can really internally say, okay, let me evaluate the situation. Let me dissect this. Let me do a self-audit really quickly. Because I find that people in their 20s in general, this is not you, obviously, because you are very mature. You have it all together. You're very grounded. So I'm friends with you, girl. Hello. This you're not Gen, what do you call Gen Z? What is it? No.
I think I might be Gen X.
Gen X. Okay, right. So the Gen Xers are, always on the go, very vapid, kind of like loosey-goosey, no deep thinking involved, not consciously aware, because they have all these things at their fingertips. The social media, the OnlyFans, all the dating apps, going out every night, going to the bars, the scenes, living in these really fun cities where you don't have to really go to a 9-to-5 job. People are very crafty. They're really smart these days in terms of how to make money without actually working a job and, like you say, grinding it out. Whether they're literally just like hustling and selling things on Marketplace on Facebook, or like I said, doing OnlyFans or TikToks. And I'm not knocking any of that stuff. I'm just curious what you think about your generation as a whole.
I don't know. I think there are some people who are like me and they realize like you can make, I think we don't like the 9 to 5, right? We're not office culture, corporate type of generation, but the people who realize like, yeah, I can make a living for myself. I can make however much I want if I sell stuff online or I do TikTok or I show up for myself instead of somebody else every day. And I think that those people will be successful if they learn how to be self-aware. Because a big part of becoming successful is being self-aware of what you're doing, right? Is it working? Do people like you? But in terms of like their emotions or their level of maturity, I do think it's a little bit poor. Like everyone's just kind of immature at my age, or that's how I see it from my lens because of
Entitled is the word.
what
Dagmar and I like to use that. Sometimes Dagmar agrees. I feel like your generation's very entitled and they're a little lazy. They're also beautiful. They're also beautiful and they're really in shape. And all the men are like 6'5" these days and women are 5'10". You all have fabulous bodies and you're all fun. That's great. Because when I was younger, nobody looked like, your generation growing up and in high school. I'm shocked at, what people look like at a young age now. They look very mature in terms of physically, but I'm glad that you can see that side of your generation, that you're aware of it, because a lot of people are not.
Yeah, I think that, speaking from like a looks perspective, like girls are wearing makeup younger and they're putting all this skincare on your face. Like I just made a video last night about skincare and like young girls that are doing it. You have to pay attention to your skin, not what everybody else is putting on their face. It's supposed to work for you, So I think it's maybe a little bit out of touch there. People are just like doing things, and the whole Ozempic thing, I cannot stand. If you're going to lose weight, go to the gym, go on a diet. It all starts with your diet.
The young kids use Ozempic?
Not young kids, people my age. Well, I guess all ages, anyone who can
All
do
age.
it.
Dagmar, they're starting at 16.
Are they?
Yeah, my friend's daughter's on it. She's 16.
Interesting.
We would like to take this moment and break in the episode to thank our sponsors. Robin Lord Law is New Jersey's premier criminal defense attorney for over 2 decades. Robin believes in justice for all and an aggressive legal approach in the courtroom, defending her clients with facts and passion. With an extremely high success rate, Robin has caught a lot of attention in the media with her bold approach in the courtroom and fabulous style. For more information, please contact Robin directly at robinlordlaw.com.
What do you think how important is mindset, Ashly?
What do I think?
What do you think how important is mindset?
It's everything. Absolutely everything. I mean, that's something I had to change about myself, I would say, within the past 2 to 3 years, is being positive. Like if you think something bad is going to happen, it's going to happen. If you don't think you can do something, you can't do it. And I think mindset is super important too. Like if you're going to hang out with people, whether that's friends, family, or just acquaintances, and they maybe don't have a good mindset, you need to make sure you have a very good mindset if you're going to put yourself around them, because it's contagious.
I love that.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
it's great
Dad.
that you just said that about the people you hang out with. I heard so often, or I hear so often, that the people you surround yourself with, this is who you become.
Mm-hmm.
So do you consciously pick your friendships and your business relationships that they help you to thrive and get better and bigger?
Yeah. And I think I didn't always do that. I would blame it on myself. If it's me, I need to have a better mindset. I need to be stronger. Then I figured out, okay, I'm not lonely. I can hang out with whoever I want. I have to choose who I want to hang out with. So I started choosing friends better, and I'm very selective of who I want to hang out with and who I give my time to. And as far as like business relationships go, if we don't mesh, I just don't work with you. It's very, we have to have the same energy level especially if we're going to be working with, let's say people who are buying houses. Like, you want the realtor and the lender to be pretty aligned, or it's probably not going to go very well. And same thing with the people who I bring onto my team. They have to be driven. I have to know that they are determined and not full of excuses.
But what about clients? Because I've been there, trust me, you're not aligning with, but it's a big deal and there's a lot of money involved and you have to suck it up, buttercup. What do you do in that situation? Because we've all been there.
Yeah. I agree with everything they say. I become their best friend, their bestie. Oh my gosh, I know, right? I know. I hate that. We're going to make this work for you. Let's just do what makes it right for you. Would you rather have this or this? What about if we do this? And I just ask them a bunch of questions and figure out, what matters most to them and what they're truly wanting. Because some people are just complainers. Other people want everything for free. I mean, I just really kind of play therapist in a way.
Yeah, what you
Dylan
just
was
said.
saying that, Dagmar, that you have to play a therapist. My brother was saying that yesterday. You really are. You're like the middleman between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, what Ashly just said, she lifts them up. So she goes down to their energy and then brings them up to her energy, which is beautiful.
If I can get them there. Usually I can.
What do you do on bad days when you can't?
On bad days, well, I go for a very long walk. I love to walk. I think Florida is beautiful. I'll grab Penelope, my dog, and we'll go walking. And I go on like 5-mile walks. I don't want to do just a 15-minute walk. I have to walk for a long time. I need to sweat. I'll talk to my best friend, Jamie. She lives in Columbus. I just went to her wedding a couple weeks ago. But it just helps me to move my body and like have a conversation with someone, even if it's just like talking about nonsense.
Penelope can go 5 miles. Oliver cannot even go 2. Well, she
We
has
have to
very
stop
long
at
legs.
Starbucks
She's a very
as well.
statuesque woman.
Yeah, Penelope will definitely go on long walks, but she has to stop at Starbucks and get her pup cup and her water.
She's a bougie girl. She's a bougie girl.
Yeah, and she knows how to ask for a pup cup now. We went through the drive-thru and she had herself out the window, paw up, and just staring at them. And I never asked for the pup cup. They were like, "Does she want one? I think she wants one." It was like,
Again,
fine.
if you think she wants one and she looks like she wants one, she wants one.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you do not stay in negative energy, or you don't go spiral down, but you catch yourself. You have the awareness to catch yourself and make conscious decisions. And how it sounds, you want to succeed in life. So you make conscious decisions how you can get back up to reach your goals and what you want to accomplish.
And I think something that's really helped me with that is staying in a routine, especially just like making my own schedule. If I can stay busy and do the same things or close to the same thing, then I'm normally on a good path. If I get off that routine and maybe I'm not like prospecting as much for work, or I'm not like really taking care of myself, then I'm going down a negative spiral. And I'm pretty good at catching myself in that.
That's what they say. And many successful entrepreneurs do that too. They save their energy for the important decisions. It's like they have the same clothes, they eat the same things, to really focus on using the energy to what you want to accomplish, not wasting the energy. You're pretty wise for your age.
Thank you.
I told you, Dagmar, I only bring on the good guests, all my pretty friends, the smart ones, the entrepreneurs, ones that can solve problems at a young age. But here's the real question, because this is a big one, because I'm going to pull a Dagmar now and I'm going to ask it, because this is a hard one, honestly. So when I was your age, I was living in New York City, I was so young and hot and fit and all these things. But if someone had something negative, Dagmar's laughing because she's like, yeah, I've heard this before many times. But if someone had something negative to say about me, whether it was in business or a friend, or I was out at a bar and a guy made a rude comment, I would be so upset about it. By the time I got to my early 30s, and Dagmar knows this about me, I don't give one F what anyone has to say about me. And Ashly, you know this because we've spoken about like stuff in the building and just living in this neighborhood. I don't care if I'm the poop vigilante and people are like, oh, there's the girl. She's the one that's always yelling at everyone to clean up the poop. I have zero to give what anyone thinks about me, unless my parents or my brother is calling me, or Dagmar, someone I'm very close to, a family member or someone I really, really trust, and I have to hear what they have to say. I don't care. You're not living rent-free in my brain. You don't pay my bills, you don't put food on the table, and you don't buy my clothes, and you definitely don't pay for Oliver's bills for anything for the vet or the groomer. So what you have to say to me means zero. How do you feel about that? And how do you honestly take criticism from others? Because it's a big thing.
It is a big thing. And I will say that is one of my biggest weaknesses. Like, if my mom criticizes me, I don't care. Whatever. But when it comes to somebody, let's say, like, I'll give you just a prime example. I posted a TikTok the other day of me and Penelope going to get coffee, and I pushed her head back. I just like tapped her because she was like mouth in my coffee. She had just thrown up in the morning, and like she, her mouth's nasty. They were like, "Oh my gosh, you're hitting your dog. You're hitting your dog." I had an anxiety attack, Chloe. I'm like,
girl, that's when you call or text me what happens, and I'll get you out of that in 15 seconds.
Then
acceptable.
It's just like little stupid things like that. I don't handle it well, and it takes me a while to calm down. And then in terms of like, that happens sometimes with work. People will be like, "Oh, you're young. Oh, you're new." And it's like, no, I'm not. But people will just think that because they look and they don't really know. And that really irritates me. And it just makes me like, I would say it gives me very bad anxiety. And my anxiety spikes immediately. And it does take me probably 24 hours to come back.
What's interesting, your mom, who loves you so much, when she says something, you don't care. But when somebody says something who doesn't know you at all, and you don't know them at all, or like somebody at the job who's perhaps not a client or above you, but like on the same level or then underneath, and we all are like that, right? Then it destroys us. What do you think? What it is, what triggers this in you, that the anxiety and the not feeling loved comes out?
I think it's insecurity, especially when it comes to work, because I'm very insecure about my age in work and just people like not believing in me because I am very good at what I do, and it just messes with me. Like, it's the worst. And then from just like a personal life perspective, I don't know. I guess it's like I just want to portray myself as someone that, why would you say that? I don't know. I just get so worked up. Like, I don't know what it is about the life aspect of it. I guess I'm delusional. I think no one says anything bad about me. And then to hear it, it's like, oh my gosh.
I'm like, wait, someone said what? Dagmar and I talked about this on an episode the other day. She's like, when you send me a text message, and by the way, she didn't tell me she was going to talk about this. And I look at the message and I go, and she wants to like pop off. She's like, then I say, woo, and I take a breath. And what do you say, Dagmar?
Pleasure.
What a pleasure. And do you know what my response was, Ashly? I was like, okay, cool, fine, whatever. I'm not going to get upset about it. So I was like, why'd you say that? You said that on the air. You said that to viewer. Like, cool. I know I'm annoying. She's annoying too. She knows she's a bossy boots. Like, it's okay. If someone has something,
Good, Chloe.
see, and I'm a proud bitch in a positive way and a loudmouth in a positive way. So when that's happening, and again, this does come with age because you are mature in a lot of ways, but you'll see as you grow and you get older, it doesn't matter what anyone thinks. And because you are very pretty and you're beautiful inside and out, people are going to be intimidated by that. And then you throw on that you're smart and you're good in business. It's called a hater. They're just hating on you. Right, Dad?
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's a gift, Ashly. If you in business get these people and you still move forward, you still go your way.
Mhm.
And this is a gift that you do not allow them to take you down. You do not allow them to stop you. You do not allow them to minimize you. You just take it as, okay, it makes me anxious. I'm dealing with it and I'm moving forward.
Yeah.
Perhaps this is how it is. Perhaps this will be how it will stay the whole life. And guess what? You're successful. I mean,
Yeah. No,
if that's your way to deal with it, everybody has another way to deal with it. If that's your way to deal with it and you're moving forward, proud of you. That's awesome.
I can't wait for the day that it just doesn't faze me, though. I want to be like Chloe
I
when I grow
promise
up.
you'll get there. And please call me when that day happens. You will get there. And you have to surround yourself with the right people. Like you said, keep your circle small. When I was your age, my circle was way too big. And you're getting pulled in all these different directions. And this one said this, and this one said that. And who's right and who's wrong? And am I this or am I that? What happened at the party last night? She didn't call me back. It's been 2 days. I don't, what, Dagmar, do we care when people call? No. When you really understand who you are, the true inner essence of you, things don't, you're not going to let it bother you anymore. It takes time and it takes effort and it takes experience and life experience, but I promise you'll get there.
Something you can do, what I learned in the last few years, prepare yourself for when it happens. So what I'm doing, when something happens, somebody says something negative or disrespectful or whatever, then I look at them and say, interesting. And then I turn around and go away.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to do that, Chloe. I'll let you know next time I do it.
Interesting. Oh, the other thing is you look at them
But when
and say,
you say interesting, I don't mean to cut you off, Dagmar. You know why it's so good? It throws them through a loop. They're like, what do you mean? She just said interesting? What? And now their head is spinning. And now you got them.
That's the point. Or what you can say, depending on what the conversation is, you look at them and say, good for you. And then you turn around and you go.
Love it.
And from an online perspective, there will be always people who want to dim your light. And they will do whatever. And thanks God, no human is perfect. And thanks God, no matter how structural and logical we can be, cannot prepare for everything. So when something happens, the goal is to shine your light. 99% of the people you make happy, and you are the highlight of the day. And there will be 1%, and they're for everybody. If it's for a politician, if it's for the Pope, there will be, for everybody, they have something, right? And a lot of times what I'm hearing, and I can understand why, it's a compliment, because they will watch your video, they will look at your image, they will look at your post. They have perhaps nothing else to do, or they're looking for a weakness, they're searching for something, because internally they're empty, they're miserable, they feel negative, and it's a sad thing. If this is what you waste with your life, because all what we have is right now, who knows what's in 5 minutes or 10 minutes or tomorrow? And the wish that everybody does the best with their lives, what you do with yours. You do the best with your life, what you can do every day. And you're enjoying it, you're happy, and you have a self-created life. You can be so proud of yourself.
You go, girl. It's true. Shine your light. And I'm not just saying this because Dagmar knows in my life, the people that I bring into my circle, especially as I'm getting older, like it's very few. When Dagmar and I met at a previous job, it was like we were like soul sisters on day 2. And I was like, I didn't even met her for almost 2 years. When we met, it was like, hey, sis. It was like I already had seen her every day. Like, just like, and I asked Dagmar, I said, we have to have on the podcast my neighbor. There's something about her. She's beautiful inside and out. She's totally organic in her state. She's not pretentious. I liked her from the second I met her because I like a sassy girl. And what you said to me in the elevator, I was like, yep, that's me. But
wait, and like, Chloe, when I said that to you, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to apologize to her.
No,
like the next time
I loved it. I loved it. No. What I said to Adam, I didn't even know. And he's looking like, all right, calm down, girl. But I'm curious what you would tell. And again, we're all insecure in some way, right? We all have something. We can be someone who's super confident, but we all have some insecurities. So Dagmar knows I'm a crazy tennis fanatic, played it growing up my whole life. She's sick of my tennis stories, but they have really good conversions into everyday life. So one of my favorite German players, Dagmar's show now. She's listening. His name is Sasha Zverev. His parents are Russian. He moved to Germany when he was an infant. He's so good looking. It's like, why are you even a tennis player? And he's 6'6", blonde, blue-eyed. He's number 3 in the world. Uno, dos, tres, un, dos, trois. Okay. And he said earlier this year, I'm having a blockage. I don't know what's going on. I'm not confident in my game. I don't know what's happening with tennis. And he's number 3. So the moral of that story is we all have insecurities, and that's okay. It's how we deal with them and what we decide we're going to do next. So that being said, what would Ashly today tell little Ashly at 11 years old, watching your brothers and the girl who didn't do good on the ACT, what would you tell yourself now, the younger self?
I would tell her, figure out exactly what you want to do. Make a plan to get there. You can't do anything without a plan. Figure it out yourself. Do research. Who cares what dad says? You'll always figure it out by yourself. Keep going. Don't let anyone tell you no.
I love that.
That's the thing. When I was younger, I would hear no and I would kind of like get mad a little bit. And, I tried to get there, but I had no plan. I was just winging it.
I love it. Dad, wasn't that beautiful?
It is beautiful. And it's so important and true, especially for girls. But I'm sure boys hear that too when they are little, depending on the environment. But girls hear it a lot. You cannot do that. To do it anyway and to follow your passion, your seeking, your strive, do one step at a time, what you said earlier. I think that's the key. Don't consume, but create and build.
And that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
One step at a time.
One step at a time. Just keep going.
So we're coming to the end of this episode. And I still have one question. If you could change one thing in the world, what would you change?
Good question.
She always does this at the end. You think you're over, you're like, whoo, I got through Dagmar's questions, and then boom.
I could change one thing in the world.
You can think about it. You think about it for a minute. Don't force an answer if you don't know, because it's a big question.
It is.
I know.
Actually, you have so much wisdom. And I'm pretty sure a lot of the listeners, all ages, when they listen to this episode, will feel so inspired to do their best every day.
Absolutely.
In their personal life, in their business life. And on the other side, so many people struggle in this world. In every country, there's another struggle. In different cultures, in their personal life and environment. If you would have the power, if you would be Superman,
Superwoman,
or if you would Superwoman, or if you would have the influence to add something or to stop something, what would it be?
You guys, I'm gonna think of something.
No, take your time. These are big questions. But while you're thinking about that, I'm going to tell people where they can find us, and then I want to know where they can find you. But think about it. You don't have to answer right now. So you can find us, as in Daggy and I, on ProblemSolvHer.com, no E on solved, at ProblemSolvHer on Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and please, what, Dagmar?
Subscribe.
There. She almost didn't have an answer. She's like, what?
I read your lips. Remember, Ashly, what I said to you?
Mm-hmm.
I read Chloe's lips, what she said.
I have big lips.
Oh, you guys, I have now. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
I think that everyone, not just the United States, but everyone nationwide or worldwide, therapy should be legal. Everyone should have to have a therapist once a month, even if you're happy and healthy and you feel good. Like we just need therapy.
It's a sounding board.
Like I feel like even kids would really benefit from a therapist.
My God, that's beautiful. I did not think of that, but I hear in so many podcasts that they speak about the importance of therapy and that they speak about creating mindset in schools. And there is nothing in schools what prepares you for real life, not just for math or English or history. That is genius, Ashly.
Yeah.
Dagmar, we talked about that the other night. Remember, I was saying how therapy is like taboo in the UK and in Europe and other countries. And the United States is kind of probably the only place that really talks about it, but it should be worldwide and it should not be a stigma. And people should have someone that they can tell all their crazy thoughts to, all their normal thoughts to, talk about their issues, their family problems, relationships, business, and coaching. That's why Dagmar and I do coaching as well.
Well,
We're
and
not
I
licensed
think
therapists,
kids,
but we can help in other ways.
right? And I think kids too, like you don't know, like some kids are very hard to like get them to open up to you. So if you start them young and they talk and there's, they have their person they go talk to, then it'll be easy and they can learn coping mechanisms. And I think that's all we need is a little bit of coping.
It's beautiful. And to add this, and I hope you find it fitting, as my sister died with 42, I think, her daughters, they were 7 and 10. And because therapy, where I'm from, is not what you do, They never had therapy for that.
Oh my gosh.
Can you
And
imagine?
no,
It's so heavy.
I can't. It's so normal. It's so normal that you will get over it. It's fine. You move on. I mean, that's part of life. And it's a shock, right? Nobody teaches you how to grieve. Nobody teaches you how to deal with all these emotions. So I think that's just phenomenal. Phenomenal?
Phenomenal.
Whatever. That's what I'm trying
Phenomenal.
to say. Yeah. If that would be something in daily life, what would be totally normal, taught on schools and kindergartens,
And free for
workplace, right?
everybody.
Yes, yes.
Because a lot of people
Legal,
can't
like you have
afford
to
it.
do it. Oh, it's expensive. Yeah, I used to do it and then I stopped. But I learned a lot of I learned about myself. I think I did it when I was 23, I think, and now I'm 27. And that's where I learned the most about myself.
Yeah. Or if you have somebody, you can say things you feel ashamed of
Mm-hmm.
or sad about, or you don't want somebody else to see you in that light. Having a therapist, like a safe haven, a sounding board for that, could make a huge difference in mindset.
Absolutely. It helps
That's awesome,
save
Ashly.
people. It literally can help save people from doing destructive things to themselves and to others, and to make really good conscious decisions. And like you said, it's a safe space. So they're not biased. They don't have any skin in the game. But at the flip side, if you are to have a therapist, you have to tell them the truth. You're not here to tell half truths or kind of flip a story around, or no, it's always my parents. It's always my, well, no, it's never me. Like, you have to be really authentic and peel the onion back if you're going to go there.
I believe the good therapist will catch you if you do that. I'm pretty sure humans do stuff like that. And the good therapist will just ask you questions. I believe. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think so too.
They'll pull that out. Ashly, where can people find you on the socials? And if they want to get in touch for mortgages, TikTok, Instagram?
So it's very easy for you guys. My handles are the same. So Instagram and TikTok is Ash, ASHH, Cox, COXXX. And yeah, that's Instagram and TikTok. And then my business Instagram page is YourLenderAsh_.
Cool.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Well,
thank
we
you
really
so much.
enjoyed
It was
having the youngest person ever on Problem Solve Her at the ripe old age of
This was so
27.
fun.
The baby.
This was so fun, you guys. I
Did you
love
enjoy
it.
it?
Really enjoyed it. Yes.
Oliver just heard your voice and just jumped up here. He hears Auntie Daggy's every day when we do this.
Hi, Ollie. Your girlfriend's
So,
down here.
We're so excited. Ash, I'll see you on Friday. Dagmar, I'll talk to you 50 times and I'll see you every day, virtually until then. And we love you. We hear
every
you.
month.
We see you.
Okay,
Thank you.
guys. Bye.
Amazing.
See you
Thanks
later.
for coming on, Ash.
Please note that the views shared by our guests are their own. We invite honest stories and diverse perspectives, but they don't necessarily reflect our opinions or serve as professional advice.